All right.
Yo, that's
So what
yep.
we're gonna do today, with God's help, is Massechet Teruma, Massechet Yerushalmi, a little bit. חמישה לא יתרמו ואם תרמו אין תרומתן תרומה. Okay, what does it mean? חמישה לא יתרמו ואם תרמו אין תרומתן תרומה. What does it mean לא יתרמו though?
All right, diving into it. So basically, when a text says Chamisha lo yitromu, it's talking about five categories of people who are not supposed to separate the teruma, which is a type of offering. And if they do it anyway, the teruma they
They're not supposed
separate
to what?
doesn't really.
They're not supposed to what?
Yeah, so they're not supposed to actually separate the teruma themselves. Basically, not supposed to do that act of setting aside that portion of the produce as an offering. And if they
ואם
do it, it's
תרמו
just
אין
not.
תרומתן תרומה. אוקיי. החרש והשוטה והקטן והתורם. What is והתואר והתורם though?
Absolutely. So when it says vehatorem, it's just referring to the person
והתורם.
who is
The person who's doing the truma.
exactly, you got it. Vehatorem just means the one who's actually doing the act of separating the teruma. So in this context, it's basically saying if any of those folks who aren't supposed to do it go ahead and do it, well, that separation isn't considered valid teruma. So yeah, you're on the right track.
החרש והשוטה והקטן והתואר נחריש שתרם את של ישראל אפילו ברשותו אין תרומתן תרומה. So and the fifth one is somebody who's not Jewish.
Exactly. You got it. So that fifth category is a non-Jew, and the idea is that even if that non-Jew separates the teruma from produce,
one of the sons of Noach.
right, exactly. So one of the sons of Noah, meaning a non-Jewish person in this context, even if they separate teruma from an Israelite's produce, even with permission, it's still not considered valid teruma.
Okay.
So yeah, you're totally getting the gist of it.
המדבר ואינו שומע לא יתרום. המדבר ואינו שומע לא יתרום ואם תרם תרומתה. אוקיי, החרש המדבר ואינו שומע לא יתרום ואם תרם תרומתו תרומה. So, a person who cannot hear but he still who cannot hear but he can still speak, if he shouldn't do truma, but if he does, it's still considered okay.
Yep, you nailed it. So in that case, it's a special scenario. A person who can speak but can't hear, like someone who's deaf but still able to talk, is ideally not supposed to separate teruma. But if they do, it still counts as valid. So it's kind of like not ideal, but if it happens, it still works.
Yeah. קטן שאינו הביא שתי שערות. Okay. קטן is somebody who doesn't have no, rudely speaking, like 2 hairs.
Exactly. That's the idea. So when they say katan who hasn't brought 2 hairs, it's a way of saying someone who's not yet hit puberty. Basically,
Yeah.
a minor.
Okay. Explicitly speaking over here. Okay. However, continuing on to the next continuation. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Trumato Truma. So, but Rabbi Yehuda says it is considered. He is even that age. He's still considered like he's doing truma.
Right. Exactly. So Rabbi Yehuda kind of comes in and says, even if that minor hasn't reached the age of full maturity yet, whatever teruma they separate, it's still considered valid. So you got this difference of opinion, and it's basically like Rabbi Yehuda's a bit more lenient on that front.
Yeah. All right. So Rabbi Yosef Omer Yosef Rabbi Yosef Omer im ad shelo im ad שלא בא לעונת נדרים אין תרומתו תרומה. What does it mean, לעונת נדרים? What does that mean?
Sure. So le'onat nadarim refers to the age at which a young person is considered mature enough to make vows that are legally binding. So Baba Yossi is basically saying that if the minor hasn't reached that age of being able to make then their teruma isn't valid. So it's all about that threshold
If
of
they can't
maturity.
make nadarim, their truma is not valid.
Exactly. That's the bottom line. If they're not old enough to make binding vows, then their teruma isn't considered valid either. So it's all tied to that same age of responsibility.
All right. Okay, sounds good. All right, good job, you guys. For all you guys have been staying around, listening up to this, the Torah Akdosha over here in the Massechet Teruma. So far, we just did the Mishnah, and with God's help, we'll be back with you guys in the next video. All right, you guys. Peace out. Have a good day. All right, peace.